First contact and desperate plea. The signal arrived on a Tuesday. At Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station in the Australian outback, Dr. Amira Hassan was about to end her shift when the anomaly detection system triggered. The hollow ping echoed through the quiet control room, causing her to freeze with her coffee mug halfway to her lips. "We've got something," she called to her colleague. Channel 7, extremely faint but definitely artificial. The signal was unlike anything in their database, a rhythmic pattern that pulsed with an almost organic quality. It didn't match any known human transmission protocol. Within hours, the United Earth Space Command had classified the signal and assembled their first contact assessment team. Commander Maya Chen stood at the head of the briefing room, her posture military straight as she addressed the specialists gathered before her. At 42, she was the most experienced first contact specialist in the UESC, with 3 peaceful alien encounters already under her belt. The signal originates from the Cygnus constellation, approximately 83 light-years from Earth, she explained, gesturing to the star map behind her. What makes this transmission unique is that it appears to be directed specifically at us, not a general broadcast. Dr. Ravi Mehta, the team's xenolinguist, adjusted his glasses. "We've made progress decoding it. It's not just a greeting. It appears to be a distress call." Maya's expression remained neutral, but her eyes sharpened with interest. "Explain." "The message repeats variations of what we believe translates to mercy, help, and extinction. There are mathematical sequences that indicate coordinates and timeframes." Ravi's voice grew quieter. "If our translation is correct, whoever sent this believes they will be gone within one of our solar years." The room fell silent. Admiral Lewis, attending via holographic projection, cleared his throat. "The Security Council has authorized the deployment of the UESC Pathfinder. Commander Chen, your team will investigate this signal, establish contact if possible, and assess any potential threats to Earth." Maya nodded. "When do we leave?" "The Pathfinder is being prepared as we speak. You depart in 72 hours. The Pathfinder was humanity's most advanced deep space vessel, equipped with the experimental Hawking drive that allowed for faster-than-light travel. Even so, the journey to the signal's origin would take 3 months. Maya spent the time drilling her team and preparing for every possible first contact scenario. None of their preparations would prove adequate. When they finally dropped out of FTL at the coordinates, the sensor officer gasped audibly. The view screen showed not just a single planet, but an entire star system in disarray. Debris fields orbited the central star where planets should have been. Near a small blue-green world, massive ships of unfamiliar design hovered in formation. "Multiple artificial structures detected," reported Lieutenant Park from the sensor station. "The large vessels appear to be weapons hot. The smaller planet shows signs of bombardment on its northern continent." Maya leaned forward. "Any response to our arrival?" "None yet, Commander. Wait, we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface." The main screen flickered to life, revealing a being unlike any humanity had encountered before. It had iridescent skin that shifted colors like an octopus, 4 upper limbs that ended in delicate digits, and large, compound eyes that reflected the light like prisms. Its voice came through the translator with an ethereal quality. "You received our message. We are the Valari. Please, you must help us. The Krell Dominion seeks our extinction." Maya kept her voice calm. "I am Commander Maya Chen of Earth. We received your distress signal. What's happening here?" The Valari's skin pulsed with dark blues and grays, emotions the humans couldn't yet interpret. "The Krell discovered our civilization 3 cycles ago. We refused to surrender our worlds to their mining operations. We have no weapons, no defenses. Our philosophy forbids violence in all forms." The beam's voice trembled. "They have already destroyed 3 of our worlds. This is our last sanctuary." As if to punctuate the Valari's words, one of the massive ships in orbit fired upon the planet, a beam of energy striking the surface. The Valari in the transmission flinched. "We beg for mercy, not for ourselves, but for our knowledge, our art, our history. We are the last of our kind. Maya turned to her second-in-command. Get us between those ships and the planet. Now. Commander, Lieutenant Park warned, those vessels outmass us by at least a factor of 20. Our shields won't. I'm aware of the odds, Lieutenant. Do it anyway. The Pathfinder surged forward, positioning itself in the path of the alien armada. Immediately, they received a new transmission, harsh, guttural sounds that the translator struggled to process. A reptilian face filled the screen, scales gleaming metallic under harsh lighting. Unknown vessel, this is War Master Drex of the Krell Dominion. You interfere in matters beyond your understanding. Remove yourself or be destroyed with the Velari vermin. Maya stood, meeting the alien's gaze. This is Commander Chen of Earth. We are responding to a distress call. We request a diplomatic meeting to discuss. The transmission cut off abruptly. 3 smaller Krell vessels broke formation, heading directly for the Pathfinder. They're charging weapons, reported the tactical officer. Maya's mind raced through options. The Pathfinder couldn't hope to defeat the Krell fleet, but retreat meant abandoning the Velari to genocide. Open a channel to the Velari. Tell them we need to evacuate as many of their people as possible, and send an emergency transmission to Earth with everything we've learned. She turned to her crew. We're going to buy them time. The next hours were chaos. The Pathfinder's shields strained under Krell weapons fire as they maneuvered to protect the evacuation shuttles racing from the planet's surface. Maya authorized the use of their limited armaments, not to destroy the Krell ships, but to distract and confuse their targeting systems. In the shuttle bay, Dr. Aisha Kwan supervised the arrival of the Velari refugees. The aliens moved with a grace that belied their terror, their skin flickering between deep purples and blacks. Among them was Elder Philia, the Velari leader who had first contacted them. Your people risked themselves for strangers, Philia said, approaching Maya when she arrived in the bay. Why? Maya helped a young Velari child. At least, she assumed it was a child. Find a seat. Because it's the right thing to do. And because one day we might need someone to stand for us. The Pathfinder shuddered under another hit. The intercom crackled with the tactical officer's voice. Commander, shields at 12%. We can't take another direct hit. Maya looked at the gathered Velari, only a few hundred out of a population of millions. She turned to Philia, whose compound eyes reflected the emergency lighting in fractals of color. We can't save everyone, Maya said, the words like ash in her mouth. Philia's upper limbs performed a complex gesture. You have shown us that mercy exists beyond our world. If our civilization must end, we find comfort knowing that the universe is not only cruelty and destruction. Maya's communicator beeped. Commander, the Krell flagship is moving into position for a killing shot. She turned back to Philia. This isn't over. Not while we still have options. Maya rushed back to the bridge as the ship rocked with another impact. The view screen showed the massive Krell flagship, a weapon port glowing with building energy. Emergency jump, she ordered. Get us out of here now. But Commander, the calculations for a safe jump. No time. Jump. Space twisted around them as the Hawking drive engaged. The last thing Maya saw before the stars blurred was the beam of energy lancing toward them from the Krell vessel and missing by meters. The Pathfinder, damaged but intact, carrying the last survivors of the Velari civilization, tore through space toward Earth. In the medical bay, Maya sat beside Elder Philia, whose luminescent skin had dimmed to a dull gray. Your world, Maya began, unsure how to offer comfort for such loss. Is gone, Philia finished. But the Velari are not, thanks to you. The alien's 4 hands clasped together. We will beg your leaders for asylum, for mercy. Maya placed her hand gently on the alien's shoulder. You won't need to beg. Earth will help you. And what of the Krell? They will not stop. They will come for any world that harbors us. Maya's expression hardened. Then they'll learn what happens when they threaten Earth. As the Pathfinder limped toward home, carrying its precious cargo of refugees and the warning of a new threat to humanity, Maya knew that the real challenge was just beginning. The Valari had asked for mercy. Earth's response would echo across the stars, and she was determined that it would be a response worthy of humanity's best qualities. Humanity's response. The United Earth Security Council chamber fell silent as Elder Thalia's hologram faded. The alien's testimony, delivered with quiet dignity, had lasted nearly 2 hours, documenting the systematic destruction of the Valari civilization by the Krell Dominion. Commander Maya Chen stood at attention beside the holographic projector, her dress uniform immaculate despite her exhaustion. 3 weeks had passed since the Pathfinder's return to Earth. 3 weeks of debriefings, medical examinations of the Valari refugees, and heated debates about humanity's response. "The evidence is clear," General Santos said, breaking the silence. "The Krell represent an existential threat not just to the Valari, but potentially to Earth as well. Their resource extraction practices alone would make them hostile to our interests, even if they weren't genocidal expansionists." Ambassador Okafor from the African Union leaned forward. "That may be so, but we must consider the practical realities. The Pathfinder barely escaped a single encounter. Thalia's own data shows the Krell control hundreds of warships. We cannot hope to match such firepower. So we do nothing." Maya couldn't contain herself any longer. "We let an entire species be exterminated because we're afraid." Secretary General Lin raised her hand for calm. "Commander Chen, your passion is noted, but the Council must weigh all factors, including the safety of Earth's 10 billion citizens." The chamber doors opened, and a lanky man with unkempt gray hair hurried in, digital tablets clutched under both arms. Several fell as he approached the central table, causing him to stoop awkwardly to retrieve them. Sorry, he muttered. "Traffic was terrible." Secretary General Lin sighed. "Council members, this is Dr. Elias Wright, Director of the Advanced Defense Systems Laboratory." "Dr. Wright, we expected you an hour ago." "Yes, well, better late than never, especially today." He grinned, seemingly oblivious to the tension in the room. "I've been reviewing the technical specifications of the Krell vessels that Commander Chen's team recorded." Maya frowned. And I think we can beat them." Wright activated his own holographic display, showing schematics of the Krell warships. "Their technology is impressive. Energy weapons far beyond our current capabilities, shield systems that can withstand tremendous kinetic impacts. But they have 3 critical vulnerabilities." The room's attention sharpened. Wright highlighted sections of the Krell ship design. "First, their communication systems operate on predictable quantum frequency patterns. We can jam them. Second, their shield harmonics become unstable when subjected to specific electromagnetic pulses. We can penetrate them. And third," he smiled broadly, "they rely heavily on automated systems with minimal crew. Their ships are essentially sophisticated drones." General Santos leaned forward. "You're suggesting we could hack their fleet?" "Not exactly hack, more like confuse very badly. My team has been working on autonomous defense systems that could theoretically be adapted to counter Krell automation. We call it Project Chimera." For the next hour, Dr. Wright outlined his proposal, a combination of technologies that could give Earth's smaller fleet a fighting chance against the Krell Dominion. As he spoke, Maya watched the council members' expressions shift from skepticism to cautious hope. When Wright finished, Secretary General Lin called for a vote. Those in favor of implementing Operation Sanctuary, combining Dr. Wright's defense technologies with diplomatic outreach to potential allies, and the establishment of a Valari refuge on Earth. Hands rose across the chamber, not unanimously, but a clear majority. "The motion passes," Lin declared. "Commander Chen, you will coordinate with Dr. Wright to prepare our response to the Krell threat. We expect regular progress reports." As the council adjourned, Maya approached Wright. Your presentation was impressive, Doctor, but can your technology really do what you claim? Wright's perpetual smile dimmed slightly. In theory, absolutely. In practice, he shrugged. We won't know until we try. But I believe in it enough that I volunteered to join the mission. You? In combat. Consider me your technical consultant. Besides, he added, his smile returning, I've always wanted to see an alien world that wasn't trying to kill me. Over the next 6 months, Earth mobilized like never before. The UESC expanded its fleet from 12 vessels to 30, each equipped with Wright's Chimera systems. The Valari refugees, granted sanctuary in a sprawling complex in New Zealand, worked alongside human scientists to develop technologies that combine their artistic, non-violent culture with humanity's more pragmatic approaches to defense. Elder Thalia, once a spiritual leader, now found herself a reluctant military advisor. Maya often found the alien in the command center, skin shifting through troubled blues and greens as they reviewed tactical simulations. Your people prepare for war with remarkable efficiency, Thalia observed one evening. It troubles me that we have brought this violence upon you. Maya studied the star map showing the Krell Dominion's expansion pattern. The Krell would have discovered Earth eventually. Better we face them on our terms than wait for them to arrive on our doorstep. Still, to see your people's resources devoted to weapons. Not just weapons, Maya corrected. Look at what Dr. Wright and your engineers created together. She pulled up schematics of the new defense system, an elegant marriage of Valari bioorganic technology and human engineering that created shields capable of adapting to energy weapons in real time. This is neither purely Valari nor purely human, Maya said. It's something new, something better than either of us could have created alone. Thalia's skin rippled with gentle gold tones, the first expression of hope Maya had seen from the alien. Perhaps this is why the universe brought our peoples together. 3 months later, the Earth Defense Fleet arrived at the edge of what had once been Valari space. Intelligence gathered from long-range probes showed that the Krell were already establishing mining operations on the remains of the destroyed Valari homeworld. Aboard the flagship Defiant, Maya stood on the bridge beside Admiral Takahashi. Dr. Wright, now sporting a makeshift uniform that still managed to look rumpled, monitored his systems at a specially designed console. All vessels report ready, Admiral, announced the communications officer. Takahashi nodded. Begin Operation Sanctuary. Commander Chen, you're authorized to make the first contact. Maya stepped forward. Open a channel to the Krell command ship. The view screen flickered, revealing the now familiar reptilian features of a Krell commander. His scales flared in what Maya had learned was an expression of surprise. This is Commander Maya Chen of Earth. We have come to address the genocide of the Valari civilization and establish terms for peace in this region of space. The Krell commander's translator conveyed his barking laugh. The primitives who interfered before. You are either brave or suicidal. Where did you find such a fleet so quickly, human? We built it, Maya replied simply, and we're prepared to use it unless you withdraw from Valari space immediately. The Krell's eyes narrowed. You protect a dead species. The Valari are extinct. No, Maya stepped aside, revealing Elder Thalia standing proudly behind her. They are under Earth's protection now. The Krell commander's scales rippled with rage. Then you will share their fate. The transmission cut off. They're moving to attack position, reported the tactical officer. 47 vessels approaching in standard Krell formation. Admiral Takahashi turned to Dr. Wright. Doctor, is your system ready? Wright's fingers danced across his console. Chimera is online and identifying targets. Defensive protocols active. And Valari integration sensed. Throughout the Earth fleet, a new kind of shield enveloped each ship. Not the harsh blue energy of traditional barriers, but a subtle, shimmering field that pulsed with life, adapting and flowing like the Valari themselves. All ships, Takahashi ordered, execute maneuver Hydra. The Earth fleet broke formation, separating into 5 smaller groups that moved with a coordination the Krell clearly hadn't expected. As the first Krell energy weapons fired, the adaptive shields absorbed and redirected the energy, glowing brighter but holding firm. Chimera Phase 2, Wright called out, excitement evident in his voice. Initiating now. From the Earth vessels, invisible pulses of carefully calibrated electromagnetic energy washed over the Krell fleet. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, one by one, Krell ships began to drift out of formation, their weapons powering down, communication arrays going silent. It's working. Wright pumped his fist. Their automated systems are resetting, trying to compensate for what they perceive as critical errors. Not all the Krell ships were affected. The largest, presumably with more direct manual control, continued their approach, weapons charging for another salvo. Defensive positions, ordered Takahashi. Prepare to engage remaining hostiles. What followed was the first true space battle in human history. Earth vessels danced through the darkness, their Valari-inspired shields adapting to each Krell attack. The human fleet was outgunned but not outmaneuvered, using the disabled Krell ships as cover while targeting the command vessels with precision strikes. On the Defiance bridge, Maya watched as Dr. Wright coordinated with the fleet's AI systems, constantly adjusting the Chimera protocols to counter Krell adaptations. Beside him, Elder Thalia's 4 hands manipulated a bioorganic interface, her consciousness linked directly to the shield harmonics. Krell flagship is attempting to retreat, announced the tactical officer. They're gathering their disabled vessels using tractor beams. Admiral Takahashi looked to Maya. Commander. Maya thought of the destroyed Valari worlds, of the millions who had perished. She thought of Elder Thalia's words about mercy and violence. Then she stepped forward. Open a channel to the Krell flagship. The reptilian commander appeared, his bridge dark and sparking behind him. His scales were dull with what Maya recognized as fear. This is Commander Chen. Your fleet is defeated, but we will allow you to retreat with your disabled vessels. Return to your territory and spread this message. The Valari are under Earth's protection. Any further aggression against them, or any peaceful species, will be met with the full force of humanity's response. The Krell commander hissed, but there was resignation in his posture. This is not over, human. No, Maya agreed, but perhaps it can be the beginning of understanding instead of extinction. The choice is yours. As the Krell fleet limped away, the bridge of the Defiant erupted in cheers. Admiral Takahashi allowed himself a small smile. Well done, Commander. I believe we've made our point. Maya turned to Elder Thalia, whose skin rippled with colors Maya had never seen before, brilliant golds and silvers that seemed to capture the starlight itself. What does that color mean? Maya asked quietly. There is no translation in your language, Thalia replied. The closest would be the joy of witnessing the impossible become possible. The alien's compound eyes reflected the stars on the view screen. You asked for neither surrender nor vengeance. You offered them the same mercy we begged for. Mercy isn't weakness, Maya said. Sometimes it's the strongest statement we can make. In the months that followed, word of humanity's victory spread through nearby star systems. The Krell Dominion, while not destroyed, had been forced to reassess its expansion policies. 3 other species, previously in hiding from Krell aggression, made contact with Earth, seeking alliances and cultural exchange. On a terraformed section of Mars, the surviving Valari established a new colony, New Valor, where they began the long process of rebuilding their civilization. Their bioorganic technology, combined with human innovation, led to breakthroughs in medicine, agriculture, and sustainable energy production. 1 year after the battle, Maya stood on a viewing platform overlooking the New Valor settlement. The dome above showed the rust-red Martian sky, but inside, Valari architecture blended seamlessly with the landscape, creating an oasis of beauty on the formerly barren planet. Dr. Wright joined her, still disheveled despite his new status as head of the Joint Species Technology Initiative. Quite a view, isn't it? Hard to believe this was all dust a year ago. The Valari have always been builders, not destroyers, Maya replied. That's why they couldn't understand the Krell. And why they understand us now. Wright raised an eyebrow. Maya considered this. I think we understand each other. We showed them that strength doesn't have to mean cruelty, and they showed us that mercy doesn't have to mean weakness. Below them, a group of human children played alongside young Valari, their laughter carrying up to the observation deck. The Valari children's skin flickered with bright yellows and oranges. Joy, Maya had learned. You know, Wright said thoughtfully, the chimera system we developed is being adapted for deep space exploration now. We could go further, faster, with the Valari bioorganic tech integrated into our ships. Maya smiled. Exploring instead of fighting. I like that. The Security Council is already talking about a joint mission, humans and Valari together, seeking out new civilizations. To offer help, not conquest, Maya added. As the sun set over New Valor, casting the dome in amber light, Maya thought about the desperate signal that had brought them to this moment, a plea for mercy that had changed the course of two civilizations and echoed across the stars. The Valari had asked for salvation, and humanity had responded not just with protection, but with partnership. Together, they were writing a new message to the galaxy, that compassion could be as powerful as conquest, that different species could stand united, and that the future belonged not to those who dominated, but to those who collaborated. It was a message that would echo through the stars for generations to come.